Welcome back to Certified Beef, and congratulations to the Los Angeles Rams as they win Super Bowl 56. Me and Brandon are here to talk anything and everything of the Super Bowl. We're going to get into maybe some of our prop bets, commercials we liked, halftime show, and then we'll probably get into the game as well. Brandon is putting on a Bengals hat in solidarity of them, which I mean, I don't know how you can. Two great teams. But we just want to get right into it. What do we want to start with, Brandon?
Let's start with the bets that would be placed before the game, the prop bets, the fun stuff, stuff like that. So last week, me and Jack put down a couple of prop bets, air quotes, like what we think would happen. We'll start with the coin flip. Jack guessed tails, I guessed heads, and I came out on top on that one, which did not bode well for the Bengals.
It hasn't bode well for the last 7 teams.
I know.
That's crazy.
So I had a bad feeling after that happened. But next up, Gatorade color. I gave us a little bit of leeway on this because we guessed 2 colors. And you guessed blue or orange.
Well,
I guessed yellow or blue.
So when they do the betting, do they split it between dark blue and light blue?
Don't think so.
Because it was light blue, like the Glacier Freeze or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what it was, but I don't know if they split it.
I don't think they do.
I feel like orange and blue were definitely the safe bets for that. Like, I don't know what else you would have put.
I put lemon lime as one of them.
I mean, that's pretty good too.
But yeah, we both came out on top on that one. And then the score predictions, the most important bet that we placed. Jack, you said 28-24 Bengals, and I said 24-21. And it was actually 23-20 Los Angeles Rams. Now,
you were close, but you just had the flip teams pretty much.
Yes, I do want to say something. After we did this, I texted Parker a couple of days later, and I was like, you know what? Let's throw $10 on my score prediction. It would have won $1,500.
It didn't matter who won.
No, Bengals.
Oh. I thought you were saying it didn't matter. I was gonna be like, damn, okay.
Johnny Hecker screwed it up.
Yeah, he did.
So that's when it went down. All right. Now, you down to talk about some of the commercials that I noticed?
Yeah, I probably won't be able to give much of the commercials, but I remember some of them. Dude, I don't remember much of the Super Bowl, the commercials.
I will say
there's some that I liked that I noticed or whatever, but
I will say there was a lot of just kind of boring standard ads again this year, which
it's getting worse and worse. People are not being bold enough in what's also happening is there's a lot of companies that used to do commercials that just aren't doing it anymore. The amount of NBC originals that I saw that were just basic ads was ridiculous. Almost every time they went to a commercial was just an NBC original commercial ad. And I was like, this is not what we want to see on the Super Bowl. We don't care about a new show coming out.
Right. And that show's probably only going to last 2 seasons anyways. So
yeah, exactly. That's the problem is what's happening now is people are slowly getting out of it because no one wants to go back to the old things that are maybe a little controversial or something, blah, blah, blah. But it's slowly just going to be what's going to happen is you're going to have the main commercials, main companies that constantly do it. And you're going to have each provider or whoever does the Super Bowl, that TV provider or channel is going to get their own ads throughout the Super Bowl. And that's just what it seems like it's going to go down to being in the next couple of years until something changes. I have no idea.
Oh yeah. I think the last more risky Super Bowl ad was a couple of years ago for the Devours mac and cheese and stuff like that. Because I remember they were playing. I think it was Chiefs 49ers. And they were playing a sex appeal type thing to it.
Yeah.
Because I remember talking about it the next day in in high school.
Dude, I kept seeing a couple Super Bowl teaser commercials and I never saw them during the Super Bowl.
The only one that I do remember seeing was the Seth Rogen and Paul Rudd one.
I don't even remember. Oh, that one. Yeah, I did see that.
That one was not great.
There was the Amazon Alexa one with like Colin Jost and Scarlett Johansson. I never saw that during the Super Bowl. Did it even happen?
I think it did happen. I just don't really remember it. Like I think all they did was throw a party. Oh wait, yeah, it was like Alexa's taking shots at like each of them. That's what it was.
Oh, I see.
But not memorable enough. All right. So let me know if you agree with this or not. But I think, in my opinion, the best ad was probably the Coinbase ad. The one with the QR code.
I did like it. I did like it a lot, but it wasn't my favorite. I mean, it was probably one of my top 3 maybe, but I did like it. It was one of my favorite ones because I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then I scanned the barcode like an idiot because like, and then it literally like, I had a feeling I knew it was going to happen. And I literally fell for it. Well, I also was not, whatever. But
if you didn't scan it, then you weren't doing it right.
Well, technically not, but I did scan it or whatever because I was just like, "Ooh, I'm curious," and I didn't even realize that what was going on. As from my generation, I should have realized that it was going to be like the DVD thing where it hits the corner. And
you didn't realize that?
I did. Like,
colors and
no,
stuff?
what? No, Brandon. I realized it once I scanned it. I was like, "Dude, I'm an idiot. It's just going to hit the corner and it's going to reveal the ad."
And it did, and it felt good. It was definitely the most creative out of all the commercials this year.
100%. It reminded me of that one thing where it shows like that big ass TV in the bar and it like does something and then the crowd just gets hyped. Yep. Like the meme. That's what that reminded me of, like those types of videos.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But yeah, that brought back nostalgia for a lot of people. It was a cool thing to see.
Yeah, for all the people, all the millennials or like
all the 90s and 2000s kids.
Yeah, they don't know what they might not. They know what they're talking about, but everyone else, dude, it does. But it might flip like it flipped once the halftime show started.
Yeah. All right. I think the other 2 of my top 3 commercials were the NFL one. I think that one was pretty creative and funny.
I didn't like that one that much.
It didn't
do it for me. It didn't do it for me. I don't know why.
You didn't like Double J hitting the gritty at the end?
I mean, that was probably the best part, but like I started hitting that gritty after it too.
Oh my god.
Dude, I kind of got the gritty down, not gonna lie.
I watched the video that Justin Jefferson or like NFL put on their Instagram of Justin explaining how to do it.
Yeah, I didn't even need it because I already got it down.
I just do the Kirk Gritty and that works.
Yeah, the Kirk Gritty is the best.
And then the other one was the E-Trade ad near the beginning, where it was like, do you remember those commercials from like the early 2010s where it was like the baby explaining? Yeah.
I think so. Oh, is that what that was again? Oh, yeah.
Where he was like coming out of retirement.
I agree. That one was funny.
That one was good. I enjoyed that.
But
yeah, like I said before, lots of just kind of normal ads. The Doritos and Cheetos one.
That one was fire. That was one of my favorites.
Reminded me of Over the Hedge, the movie.
Oh yeah, I
animals
agree.
eating human food, like chips and stuff like that.
That is funny. Yeah,
I was like, huh, okay. But yeah, otherwise, lots of stinkers. Hopefully, people step it up next year. That's the hope.
I also like the Kingpin one.
Oh, what was that one?
The one where they're bowling, like a bunch of athletes are doing bowling or whatever.
Oh yeah,
that one was funny. I didn't know
who was the guy at the pool table.
That was that not Brooks Koepka?
I don't know. And then was he also the golfer dude?
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah, Brooks Koepka. Yeah, that's who it was.
Okay.
Golfer dude. Are you talking about in the other one, the other commercial he was in?
Like the one where like the caddy is like suggesting what to get. And he's like,
yeah,
Michelob Ultra.
Yeah, that was Brooks Koepka. Yeah, Brooks Koepka.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I guess one more honorable mention. I like the Larry David FTX one. I honestly didn't pay too much attention to it, but it was kind of funny how he's always wrong. And Larry David's a pretty likable guy. So
I don't know which one you're talking about at all.
They were like going through like time or whatever. Like they were time traveling, and Larry David like kept making wrong predictions about stuff. And he's
Oh,
like, "Trust me, I know this,"
I
or
didn't
something like
see
that.
that one.
Oh well, yeah, nothing too exciting, but
No,
still
it
like to
seemed
look
like
at them.
the car companies really like took over the Super
Oh
Bowl this
yeah,
year.
like that. Like Austin Powers one, I didn't care for.
I didn't really. The only one that I thought was okay was the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, and I didn't even think that one was that good.
I don't even remember that one.
It's the one where he was like all had all the power because he was like Zeus.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice that.
I think yeah. The problem is with the car commercials is they
They're
don't
all the
have
same,
anything to they do that, and they have nothing to do with the car until the last second.
right? They're just like power
I also
performance.
thought like
Nissan.
the one with the Schitt's Creek actors were kind of funny. Was kind of funny, I
Yeah,
guess. But I don't know. Kind of all misses. But
they need to start pulling on the heartstrings more, like with uh the Budweiser Clydesdales or like
yeah, they
puppies or
brought
something
that
like
back,
that.
and the dog. They brought the Clydesdale and the dog back. I don't know if they're like teasing us for next year, but it was like
It
a
might
10
be.
second ad.
Yeah,
It
I saw that.
didn't even mean anything. I was like, because they
Okay.
brought it back, and people are like, "Oh, here we go." Then
Or
nothing happened, and we're like, "What the heck is going on?"
they need to walk the line between too far and just right for like risky stuff.
Yeah,
Like
because like I
use it
feel
to
like
your
most
advantage.
commercials aren't even risky.
No, and that's also a
Like
product of the time we live in, but we don't need to get
like
too political.
was there even a Coke and a Pepsi commercial this year?
I don't think so, but Pepsi usually doesn't need too much since they got the halftime show.
It's true. But yeah, no, I just thought it was crazy because like normally like I mean Pepsi had one at one point where they had this hot chick drinking out of a Pepsi out of Pepsi out of a
Oh
vending
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're
dispensary
like
or
from the
whatever.
'80s.
Yeah, like they had stuff like that. Like it was not like it wasn't like like controversial, but it was just like promoting it with this good looking person.
Yeah,
Like
because
stuff
it
like that
was,
needs to come back. Or like the days of like the puppy monkey baby. Like
dude.
that
I've
was
heard
an all
that's one.
timer.
It was a weird ad for sure.
It's weird, but it's hilarious.
Yeah, like in my inequality in American sport class right now, we were looking at the Kia commercial from like 7 or 8 years ago, where it was the Mr. Sandman where he dumps the sand on him and he dreams about driving a Kia on a racetrack with all these like bikini babes looking at him with like Motley Crue playing in the background, like all these manly stuff. And like that's what we need to get back to is that
Yeah.
funny stuff. Like I don't care who it's really directed towards. It just needs like I just
Yeah.
want to have a good time while I'm watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah. See, you know what the problem is the Super Bowl is getting to the point where it's like a playoff game or a regular season game where you go to the bathroom during the commercials and you watch the game. Like normally at the Super Bowl, you're like waiting for the commercials. Like you'll go to the bathroom during
Yep.
the game because a lot of time it's not your team playing or whatever, and then you'll sit down for the commercials because normally that's what it is. The Super Bowl is turning into a normal game where you are doing your stuff during the break and then going back to the football
Right.
because the football is becoming better than the actual commercials.
Yeah. I remember I had that same problem as like the start of like maybe halfway through the third quarter or whatever. I had to use the bathroom. Then I saw Ted
Oh,
Danson come on for an NBC commercial and I left to go use the bathroom. And then I came back and I don't think I missed anything.
no, probably not. And like, could you imagine watching the Rams and Patriots Super Bowl with the commercials they have now?
Oh yeah, that would have been awful.
Yes, I'm saying like it's getting to that point where
And
it's
that
just getting
halftime
worse and
show. Wait,
worse.
no, that halftime
That's
show
the
was
Travis
fine.
Scott one.
Oh wait, was it? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Travis Scott Maroon 5.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no that yeah.
It's
I
just not a great Super Bowl.
nope.
But yeah, no, stuff needs to change, or I don't know. Just like don't even like do Super Bowl commercials anymore. Just do normal commercials if you're not going to produce anything good because it really just like destroys us as like people and fans to like put us like sit through that and like try to figure out what is good, like try to see if there's even going to be a good commercial because there's like like the amount of commercials that they had this year, like out of all of them, there probably isn't one commercial out of the whole thing where people are like, I'm gonna remember that forever. Like there
Uh,
probably isn't one at all like
I
that.
think Coinbase has the best chance of that.
Yeah, because it's just, like it's a little out of the ordinary, but like funny wise,
No,
there's not
there's no
anything.
all timers this year. Definitely not.
It's sad. I don't know why it's so hard, but I don't know.
I don't know. As also based on the culture that we're in, it's just if you get too risky, then you take that chance of getting lots of bad publicity and stuff like that. And companies don't want that. So it's, yeah, just need that one or two companies just to flip the script again and get back to doing some funny stuff. Cause like I was trying my best not to go on my phone during the game and stuff, but those commercials, I was like, man, I want to see if there's a good one. There just never really was.
Like there was one commercial, it was like so predictable that I literally called out what the company was before it even like the avocados from Mexico. I was like,
Oh,
this is gonna be avocados from Mexico. And I don't even think they showed an
oh
avocados
yeah,
from Mexico one.
the Roman one.
Yeah.
No, they
I'm
did show
going
it
th-
at the end, but
I'm going through all of them and like there's I can't I'm trying to figure out the ones that like
the avocados from Mexico from a couple of years ago was pretty good when they were having like the animal draft or whatever.
yeah.
And the polar bear was like, please somewhere warm. And then Mexico took the avocado.
Yeah. I like there's one with Guy Fieri. I don't even remember that one.
I
The Bud
do.
Light Seltzer, hard
Yeah,
soda. I don't remember that
I
one at
thought that
all.
one was all right. I mean, I like anything with Guy Fieri in it. He's pretty cool. So
Yeah, you're not wrong. Let's see. I thought the LeBron James one was kind of a miss,
I
honestly.
that one was kind of cool. Like,
I
who were
mean, it
they
was cool.
promoting
Oh my
again?
god, it was a crypto
Oh
commercial.
yeah, it was crypto.com. Like that didn't make any sense. Like I think
No, it was literally just like this is what's gonna this is what's gonna happen when you're my age.
right.
Crazy. And like the CGI with it, like it was good, but you also could just tell how fake the young LeBron was.
Yeah,
And
but
like the amount of like things they put in there, like from LeBron's childhood, was like
I think it was fun though when
understandable.
they said, "We're going to the league. We're going to the league." Like that's probably the best part of the commercial there.
Yeah, going through all these. Yeah, there was just like not many good commercials. I don't know. It's just it sucks.
How many of them do you think are gonna get like repeated on a daily basis now? Because I know they like to take
Yeah.
Super Bowl commercials and play them over again sometimes.
I could see the I could see the Amazon Alexa one maybe. I don't
I could
know.
see Doritos. I
That
could
one
see
too,
them
yeah.
doing that. They're definitely not doing the. Oh, why can't I think of it? They're definitely. I'm expecting to see lots of Austin Powers GMC commercials now
Yeah.
with Dr. Evil and stuff like that.
Dude, they had like Mayo or Hellman's Mayo had one with like Pete Davidson in it. I thought it was gonna be good and
Oh,
it really wasn't.
it was all right. I it was like a reuse thing because like Geico did the same thing a couple of years ago.
Honestly, the one that wasn't that bad though was Kia's, like the one with the dog jumping off the top of a building or whatever. It wasn't terrible.
I don't even remember that one.
It's where like it dies in the middle of the fall and it gets
Oh, the
charged. It was
robot dog.
yeah, the robot dog.
Okay, yeah.
But like the do you remember the Oculus one or whatever? The Oculus commercial? That was stupid.
What was it again?
It was the one where like it was like an old arcade or whatever, and it was like these stuffed animals or
Oh yeah,
whatever.
like a Five Nights at Freddy's type thing, like Chuck E.
Yeah,
Cheese, and they
yeah,
were
it was
playing together again. Yeah, I remember that one
yeah.
now.
But like also, I mean, if we're just talking commercials wise, if the NFL has to make their own commercial, that's pretty bad.
But they usually do.
Not that I don't remember, but they're like the fact that it's like one of the most iconic ones is not very good either, though.
Yes.
Oh, the one we did talk about is Pringles. That one was funny.
What was it again?
The one where
Oh,
you
where
get
you
your
got his
hand
hand
stuck
stuck
in
in
it.
the can.
and it made some kind of like perverted jokes to it too. Like
It
that one
did.
was kind of on the edge. Like that one was good. Like actually, that was one of my favorites because it was edgy.
Yes.
And
Now that you're recalling it to me, that one was pretty good. Yeah. And it also was very relatable. That's what these commercials need to get into, is being relatable.
yeah,
Because
yeah, you're not wrong.
I remember like I was talking to like one of my grandmas or whatever, and they're like, "Yeah, why are we taking insurance advice from Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes? Like, there's no
Yeah,
way
I
they're
don't
paying
know.
the same rates as we are." So,
Yeah, I know. Oh, another one that was like weird was like they were like talking about was like the Zendaya one. I thought that one was stupid.
oh man, I can't
The
remember any.
seashell one where like it was a bunch of
Oh
like
yeah,
it was like a Squarespace.
Squarespace.
I
That
was
was
like,
like one of the first commercials.
yeah, and it didn't make any sense.
I mean, it makes a little sense because like doesn't Squares wait no Squarespace makes websites.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It like
Eh,
it's just like the commercials that make no sense, and then they're like, oh, here's a company. Like, oh, that doesn't help. That's just what I don't like either.
yeah, they're not great. I don't know. Step up your game. Every company out there that's going to run a halftime ad. I'd also like to see some like small time company get in there because they're usually the ones that take like the biggest swings in these situations.
Well, they have to because
Yeah,
they have this like their one shot. Like
they
Eminem says, this is your one shot. Cannot miss your chance to blow. It's opportunity once in a lifetime. Let's go.
or what? Okay.
Isn't that what the song he's saying at the suit halftime? Lose
Yeah,
yourself.
I don't think you got the words right though.
No, I didn't, but it's all the thought that counts.
Yeah, let's move on to the halftime show. What were your thoughts on it?
Like it was good. It was like it was pretty good. I mean, it's pretty nostalgic for some people, and I think it still didn't hit to what people maybe have wanted to. I thought it was, but I also don't understand how people can even say this is like the greatest halftime show of all time. Like, and like they really weren't that entertaining. It was just the nostalgic of like the Los Angeles vibe and the music. Like
And it's
they
also
didn't
the
really,
people up there. Like Snoop Dogg
yeah,
is hilarious.
yeah, exactly. Like him crip walking was hilarious. Like, but like the thing is like they didn't do any like cool performance. It was like that was the thing. It was like another problem is there's too much people. You can't have a halftime show with five people. I'm sorry. Like you can't. It doesn't.
That
They don't get enough time. Is the problem? Like Eminem sang one song. Like he was the one I know the best out of all of them. Like I want to hear his music a lot. Dre and like Snoop Dogg, they have some iconic songs, so like that too. Also, Kendrick, he just didn't really feel like he fit in with the performance
yeah,
at
that
all.
his segment was so weird. Like him popping out like the boxes or whatever. I was
Yeah,
so
and like
confused by that.
his that's not that generation at all. Like I don't know why he felt like a need. Like I would have rather them had just 50 Cent in there instead of him being the guest of the show instead of having Kendrick.
Yeah.
Like that was a very solid guess. I'm not gonna lie. Like out of all the guests they could have picked, that
One
was good.
dollar.
$1, yeah. No, but like I mean, it was good, but I just don't think you could say it's the best of all time. Like I know it's cool and all, but like Prince in '07 is still just a very iconic one. I've still never seen it, but just like everything I've heard about it, it's just like nothing will ever live up to that magnitude. That him performing in the rain,
I watched
everything in the show he put up.
like a YouTube video of it today, and it was like it was like one of those NFL films ones where they got like the people breaking it down and stuff like that. And yeah, it looked like it was sick. Like he didn't even use all his own songs. Like he's saying like All Along the Watchtower by Jimi Hendrix a
Yeah,
little bit. And yeah, I think most people would consider uh Prince and then Michael Jackson as like two of their top three from what I've heard.
yeah, no, I agree 100%. But yeah,
Like
no, it wasn't bad. Like I won't lie, it wasn't bad. I like I knew the songs pretty much all the songs. I didn't know of any Kendrick. I didn't know the Kendrick songs. I knew
yeah.
every other song. I knew the first song that was saying. I knew 50 songs. I didn't know Mary J. Blige. Like that was a
She's
miss
from
for me
like
too.
2004 and stuff too, which was like
Yeah,
I had
I've
never
never
heard of
even.
her.
Yeah, I've neither have I. And like I don't know, but seeing all our parents, seeing my parents and like all their like her friends and like all my family get like all excited. This like my like because like normally it's like our age group, and then it's like all our parents getting like all turned up to the halftime show. It was honestly pretty funny, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean, it wasn't bad. Like, there's so many worse performances in like the last 10 years that I can think of. It was probably one of the best in like the last 10 to 15 years, mate.
Oh
I
yeah.
would say
Like in recent memory,
it's easily the best. Like, I will agree 100%.
yeah. I mean,
I think it's fair to say it's easily a top five halftime show of all time.
it's up there. The set design was kind of odd. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
The thing is, people are like, well, the halftime show is not really meant for the people there because like
Right.
it's
I
meant for the
agree with
people at
that.
home is what I've heard. Is that's why they didn't really like they would have never made a set like that if it was meant for the people who are at the stadium. Like
Yeah.
it's meant for the people at home.
Honestly, it was a pretty entertaining halftime show. It was funny that I saw today that Snoop Dogg was high before he went on stage.
Are you surprised? I'm not even
I'm not
surprised.
surprised. Well, I guess I'm a tad bit surprised because it's a Super Bowl. It's one of the bigger performances of your life.
He smokes like
I
10 times a
know he
day.
does.
He doesn't get high anymore.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
No,
But
he was pre gaming. Like
he
he was just
was
pre he's
like,
just
it
pre
was funny
gaming.
just seeing him on the field take a hit and then just walk out there. But
Yeah, no, it was funny. I agree.
yeah, I didn't know too many of their songs. I knew Eminem was gonna sing "Lose Yourself" because that's the between that and before or till I collapse are like the two that make the most sense in like a sports setting.
I feel like Not Afraid would have been a good one also.
Yeah, but that's not as popular, I don't think, as the other two.
I think they're pretty much on
Um,
that field. Also, one thing though you have to like take into consideration is that they didn't like have performers in the halftime shows till consistently until like the 90s. Like they literally had like college bands doing the
oh,
halftime
yep.
shows. Like the
They
Golden Gopher band was once the halftime show. Like I did not know
It was
that.
the
Like I thought it
halftime
was
show
like
with Timberlake.
really
Yeah. Because I looked
like
it up
I
like the past 10 performers, and it was Justin Timberlake and the Minnesota Golden Gophers band.
well no they did it before in like the 80s or 70s too. But like I just never knew that they didn't have performers. I didn't know it's just like bands and stuff that were doing the halftime shows. But
Did you know that Walt Disney World did the halftime show one
yeah, I
time?
think I saw that.
It was awful.
I bet.
But
Was it like
it
Minnie
was a
and
bunch
Mickey
of
Mouse
kids
just going,
singing. No, it was a bunch of kids singing.
"Oh, that's rough."
Yeah. But let's
Nothing
get
like a
let's get
bunch of
back to
drunk
this
people. Nothing like a bunch of drunk people watching some kids perform at the Super Bowl.
and like Mickey and Donald just walking around. Yeah. Um, but yeah, let's get back to this one. Like I said, fun time. I enjoyed watching it. Uh, the only cons I had to this is each segment seemed very short, besides Mary J. Blige and 50 Cent.
Oh, I thought 50. I didn't think his was that long.
It
I
seemed a
thought
little,
Kendrick got way too much time.
yeah. I feel like though, like Eminem only sang like a verse, and that was it.
Yeah, no, that's what I was like. What the heck? Why is he doing that? Like, I can't believe that. Like he was supposed to be like one of the headliners too of it. Like
Yep,
it was like him and Dre and then the rest of the group, and he sang
him,
one
Dre, and
song.
Snoop, and then it
Yeah,
was Kendrick and Mary J. were like the
yeah,
outliers.
you know.
But and then they could have turned up the microphones a bit. It was hard
Oh,
to hear him over the
yeah, I
music.
agree. I could barely hear it. I was like, what the? We turned it up the whole the TV volume all the way up, and you could still barely hear them. But
Um,
yeah,
I think they did a very good job of talent selection though, because I think besides Eminem, like this show like was kind of an embodiment of like LA.
oh yeah, I agree.
So I think they they couldn't have done too much better with who they were gonna choose.
Do you see all the things they're like? Well, if Tupac was really alive, it would have been his. It would have been time for him to come back for this performance. So all the Tupac theorists or whatever were like, "Yeah, he's probably dead now."
Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah. Well, Biggie's from New York.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Wouldn't that have been a
Okay,
scene?
I hope he's actually from New York. I'm not totally sure. I don't want to be wrong on
He's
that.
an East Coaster.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, because it was him versus Tupac in the rap rivalry.
But
I
yeah,
know
no,
that for sure.
it was still good, but they definitely will never have a performance like this again where they had like five different people. Also, if you have five people with maybe a guest, why would you not make it longer? Do you know the halftime show is only slated to be 12 minutes long?
How long was it?
I don't know.
Because I feel like it. I feel like it only topped out like 8 minutes. I'm not gonna lie.
It
It
felt
seems
super
short,
short. But
but
no, yeah, I looked it up. I was like, that's not long enough. Like the thing is, it takes like 30 minutes for halftime at least now with the Super Bowl. But like the Super Bowl went by so fast, they could have
oh, it
easily
did.
extended it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then I was watching some Snapchat thing today by Ben Shapiro, and he's like, he was talking about how all these people have basically been like arrested and stuff, and we're like glorifying them. I'm like, dude, I don't care. Like, this is just funny to watch. Like a 50-year-old Snoop Dogg just rapping up there and stuff like that, and crip walking and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, consumerism is like making people blind to what these people did. I'm like, I don't care. Don't take that out of context, though. All right. So now we'll get into some of the plays of the game that I wrote down. I got some general stuff first, and I got some like more in-depth things. So like we said before, Rams won 23-20. We'll start with the general stuff. So overall, the Bengals defense should be given a lot of credit, especially the run defense.
Yeah.
Cam Akers only had like 27 yards the entire game.
Yeah, it wasn't they were playing really well. Like
Like,
they didn't really give up much the whole game. Like they had like a couple drives where they just like couldn't really stop them, but that was pretty much it. Like it was pretty dominant performance by the defense.
yeah, it was. That's why they made some savvy offseason moves in the past 2 years. Like they got Von Bell 2 years ago. They picked, didn't they extend Sam Hubbard like this past
Yeah,
year?
I think so. Yeah.
Picked up Trey Hendrickson. He broke the Bengals single season sack record.
All their
DJ Reader.
corners, yeah,
Yeah,
all
all
their
their
corners
corners.
are literally like just got signed this year or last year.
Yep. And like this is their defense stepped up, and Jesse Bates had an awful year, apparently. And he's probably
Right.
one of the top 5 safeties in the league, like
Yeah.
on year. So like just think what they could do next year if they keep up with this level of performance.
Yeah. Yeah,
Next. Oh,
I
go
agree.
ahead.
It was really impressive to see like them. I mean, they didn't like they weren't stout like all like postseason or anything, and then they played their best game, I would say, probably the whole year in the Super Bowl, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, definitely one of their better games. Next thing. To me, Jalen Ramsey seemed just slightly off, but he still played like a great but not elite corner.
Yeah, I don't think he tries that hard half the time.
Hmm.
I feel like I'm not kidding. Like I feel like half the time he just like kind of like just does like it at like 75%, because like I feel like he's willing to like give up some of the shorter intermediate routes because he doesn't want to get burnt or something. I don't know, but I'm still taking Jalen Ramsey out of all
Oh,
corners in the league.
oh
Like
yeah.
I literally think he's just that good, like to where he can manipulate like his game to what the game plan is and like be like, oh, he gives up a slant route here. Like, okay, a slant route's a slant route. Most corners don't cover slant routes very well anyways. So
Right. Like who's even like next in the conversation? Stephon Gilmore?
I don't even think he's there
He's getting
anymore.
old anyways.
Xavier Howard, who is the other like guy that there people have talked about like top 3 corner wise? JC Jackson.
I think this year's just a breakout year.
No, he's been doing this last 2 years.
Oh, has he?
Yeah.
Huh. Then yeah,
Let's
he's
see.
probably up there.
I'm trying to think. Like the thing is like the corner position is just such a weak position. Like there's only like five guys that are gonna be at that
Oh,
top tier level, and then you gotta drop off.
Jair, Tre'Davious,
I don't think Jair. I think he's all right. I think he's
Mar-
like maybe top seven.
Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah, I mean,
He's good.
he's good. Like you got a bunch of like good guys. I mean, it all depends on like the thing is that you got to have like the problem with corner position is you guys can have guys that have like one good season, but then they falter. Like you got to try to
Yeah.
find the guys that are consistent and like that's guys like Xavier Howard, Jalen Ramsey. But those are just examples. But you got to find those and like I think that's like the key is like with the corner position, you just got to find that guy that is very consistent.
Yeah. And I think Jalen Ramsey is like the gold standard of that. Because he's
Oh,
probably
100%.
like he is definitely a top 10 corner all time, I have to think.
He's pretty close, I'd have to say.
Because is it like consensus that like Dion is number one?
I think it's pretty much Dion is number one.
I don't know.
I don't.
Because a lot of
The
these
crazy thing.
dudes on this
Go
list
ahead.
I'm looking at is like they're old dudes, like Night Train Lane and stuff like that.
Yeah. The thing about Dion is like, was he a shutdown corner or was he just known for like being like a ball hawk and like a guy that gets like the pick sixes? Because I really don't know much about Dion. Like I don't know if he was like a shutdown corner or what.
Yeah, that's the problem because I don't know much about him either. Like he also might be elevated because he's just like an awesome dude in general.
Yeah,
Like
I
he
mean, can't
radiates
complain.
confidence and stuff like that. So I think that like boosts him up the charts. Like if he like gets like torched on a coverage or something, like people might turn a blind eye to him just because
Mhm.
he's Deion Sanders.
Yeah,
So
but
see what else. Eli Apple got messed up at the worst times, got messed with at the worst times on both Cooper Cup's touchdowns. Pretty fair to say.
yeah, the first one. I mean, I guess like people are like, I think that first one was a little much to like put on him.
Yeah, I don't think that
Like
was
the
his
the
fault.
defensive coverage that they called was pretty bad. There was no safety over that side, and like if you watch the play, it looks like Cooper Cup's gonna run block. It looks like he's like gonna like come down into the linebackers, but then he just shot up. Like as a corner to make up that ground that fast, it's not easy. Like
No.
I don't think that was necessarily his fault. And then, but like the second touchdown, I also don't know why they had Eli Apple on Cooper Cup in like that part of the game. Why would you not put Chidobe Awuzie on him? He was the second ranked corner in
Wasn't
the
he
PFFs.
injured?
No, he came back. He was on the field because I thought he might have been injured. Then I saw him on the field after they scored, and like he's like tapping him on the head or something, like Eli Apple. And I
Yeah.
was like, he was the second ranked corner in like the Pro Football Focus this year. Like he had a breakout year, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why do you not have him on Cooper Cup? Like you're not gonna have Mike Hilton on him. Mike Hilton's a slot guy. Cooper Cup was out on the right side by himself. Like also, I mean I understand like blah blah, but like playing corner is tough. Like you could guard some routes, but if you can see a guy that's like just pretty much running like laterally towards the sideline or like and know it's a fade route, how can you not guard that? I feel like the fade route is by far the easiest like route to guard in the NFL, and I don't think I've ever seen a corner stop it consistently ever. Like if you look at that play, like he should easily be able to swat that ball away. It's not like Stafford put it up high or something. He put it pretty much right into Cooper Cup's chest. Like I don't understand
Yeah.
how you don't defend that. Like I've never understood that at corners. Like you could see Cooper Cup looking at the ball. Like how do you not look at the ball, look for the ball and play defense on it?
Why do you not got any like safety help over there? Like they've been feeding Cooper Cup the entire drive. I'm assuming they were gonna go to him on that play. Like
Yeah,
you
like
one on one.
stuff like you're a good corner and like you claim yourself to be a good corner. How do you not like instinctively like pick out stuff sometimes? Like if you can like see his feet shuffling the way they were, he's obviously running a fade route. Like, and like Stafford's just gonna throw it up to him and hope he gets it.
Right.
I mean, you would think like the thing is like Cooper Cup, he looks really small on the field, and that's why people would be like, how why are you throwing a fade route to Cooper Cup? Cooper Cup is like 6'2".
He's a
He
physical
is
guy.
he is not a he's not a small guy. He plays small, but he is not a very small guy. It's weird. But yeah, no, I that second one was pretty bad, but I don't think he deserved as much slander as he should have. But I mean he's talks himself way up way too
Yeah.
much.
At least stick a hand in between Cooper Cup's hands. Try and do something like dive for it or something. Like game on the line, you gotta do that. All right. Next bullet point I got Logan Wilson is a baller, and after his contract or expires, he should get a nice new deal if he keeps playing up.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree. He is a beast. I barely even knew who this guy was, and he was all over the field on in the Super Bowl. Like he was in the run game, running down running backs and stuff in the out of the backfield. Like he was all over the place. He looked like Fred Warner, some of the best linebackers out there. He probably played his best game of his career.
Oh yeah, going sideline to sideline is all you can ask for from a middle linebacker, and he did it very well. Good
Like
tackling.
a lot of times you like don't really guys that you don't really know about. They don't really do both things well. They don't stop they're either good in pass protection or not pass protection, pass like coverage and like coverage, or they're a good run stopper. But he played both very well in this game, and he was honestly a big reason why like the Bengals were in this game.
Yep. Because yeah, he was doing it all during the course of this game. So big respects.
Yeah.
And then on the notes of respect, both QBs deserve lots of respect for what they had to go through during this game, both getting injured at some point, no matter how long
Yeah.
they were out. Like, take some guts to get back out there and face off against 11, like 200 to like 340-pound dudes. Like,
Yeah. You really don't think they're gonna, unless they literally like do have an injury like Odell did. Yeah, they're not gonna come out of the game.
right.
There's so much adrenaline pumping. It really doesn't make a difference. But yeah, no, both quarterbacks played pretty well. But the defense is really where the stars of this game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Can't argue with that, really. I'm a defensive guy, honestly. I like low scoring games as long as there's like turnovers, not punts, like
Yeah, no,
fumbles
I
and stuff
agree.
like that. That makes for a good game. But otherwise, uh, let's get into this paragraph I wrote down about specific plays that kind of stood out to me after rewatching the highlights on YouTube. So after the Rams stopped the Bengals on their first drive, they had that nice short field position, and they did a good job of capitalizing on it with that Odell Beckham touchdown, which I did not think he was going to be the first touchdown scorer of the game, honestly.
I'm not surprised. I wasn't really surprised.
I was surprised how many yards he went off for, honestly.
It's
Like
just
I
because
was expecting him to go like for 50 or something like that, and he almost had 100 in the first half, I'm pretty sure.
yeah. I mean, I wasn't really surprised. If you zero on Cooper Cup enough, and you got a guy like Odell who's got a lot to prove or whatever, he's going to show out, and that's what he did in the first half.
Yeah. And then the Johnny Hecker mishold what turned out to be somewhat significant.
Oh yeah,
The,
because if he doesn't mishold that and the Rams score, then
they
the
got
Bengals have to
but
go score a touchdown on the final drive.
yep. And you just don't expect that out of Johnny Hecker. Like
Oh no,
he's probably one of, if not the best punter in the game, which makes you one of the better holders in the game. Honestly, how come they don't have wide receivers be the holder?
Good question.
Because I mean, they got a lot more experience catching the ball. I'm assuming it can't be that hard to put it on your finger.
It's also, I feel like it can't be that hard to. It's not like you're going to go through any like physical like tackling or anything. It's a literally they're kicking it, and if they run into you, it's mostly going to be a penalty.
Right. So NFL, I think you should think about that. Start changing it up. Make the like a backup wide receiver,
So they
the
put your
placeholder.
fifth string wide receiver out there.
Wide receiver, tight end, doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I threw down a bet for Joe Mixon to score a touchdown. I did not think he would pass for a touchdown.
I literally knew he was throwing that before he even got the ball.
You did?
Like as soon as I saw Joe Burrow like throw a toss, as soon as I saw the toss play formula, I was like, why would they? There's no openness. There's no place to go where the ball, with the ball on that side because they were already on the right hash. I was like, well, this is a pass. I literally said, oh, he's passing this as soon as he got the ball. I did, and I was right. You know, I should just be a psychic. I should have called it.
I got way too excited when they tossed the ball to him because I was like, oh, shoot, this is going to cash the first leg of my Cooper Cup Joe Mixon parlay or whatever.
Dude, I literally put in a parlay for that too.
I know. I
would have. They didn't do parlays. They didn't do anytime touchdown parlays at the place I bet at. So I would have won. And I'm pissed. Wait, that counts as a touchdown even though he threw it?
No.
Oh, wait, then that's what I thought. So then how did you win a parlay?
I said I didn't.
Oh, yeah, because I thought he has to score. It doesn't matter if he passes it.
No, he has to get into the end zone, not him throwing it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I was excited when he got the ball, and then when he tossed it, I was like, oh no. And then T. Higgins kind of, it's like, oh yeah, cool. Because I wanted the Bengals to win and everything like that. I think probably the biggest momentum shift of the game was when Odell went down with his ACL injury.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
The Rams offense pretty much like went stagnant as soon as Odell went down because it made it easier to zero in on Cooper Kupp, and then it made it someone else had to win the game or someone had to step up for the Rams, and no one really did.
Wasn't Ben Skoranek.
No, there was really no one to step up, and
it was like the backup tight end. Honestly,
yeah, I know
he was
weird,
best pass catcher out of everybody else.
It's weird, but that's at that point when the Bengals, they were down 3, they weren't even down much. That's at that point, that's when the Bengals really should have took this game out of proportion.
The most unfortunate thing about that play though was it wasn't even like a high like contact thing or whatever. It was just that he stepped wrong on a little short pass. Like if it would have been like a deep ball or something, he would have got injured. It would have been a different thing, but it was just a little like dump off, and it's just unfortunate that it happened.
Yeah.
But it made it honestly better when the Rams won the game and you saw him like crying and stuff like that, and you were just like feeling for him. So
yeah, exactly.
Did they miss the Lombardi processional?
What do you mean? Where they bring it out?
Yeah.
Don't think they do that anymore.
Are you sure?
Pretty positive. Like where they line up and touch it.
Yeah, I thought they did that for the Chiefs.
I don't think they do that anymore.
Because of COVID or just because?
I think it is. Well, I think the reason why they didn't do it this year, it might not even been like because of COVID, but I also think it's because, well, no, because like all the players are still able to touch it. They have parades. I think it's because of the Olympics. They had to switch to the coverage of the Olympics right after.
That's
true. They
probably
had to speed up the post game.
But that didn't happen last year. I'm pretty sure they didn't do the processional. So I don't know.
Because of COVID. That's probably because of COVID. But
yeah, let's see.
No, they haven't done it in like 3 years. I think maybe they did it with the Chiefs, but I don't remember. But no, I'm pretty sure it's because of the Olympics, because they also didn't show the Rams player or Stafford, Cup, and Donald doing I'm going to Disneyland or Disney World thing like they normally do. That's because of the Olympics. I'm pretty sure the Olympics is the reason why they didn't show a lot of that, because they needed to switch the Olympics coverage.
Yeah, it kind of seemed like they sped through like the trophy presentations and stuff like that, which is a shame because this is like the one moment for most players that it's your moment in the sun and stuff like that. And they
I
just kind of passed it up.
I think that's literally the reason why.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, like I enjoy when they walk down with the Lombardi Trophy and everything, and like hopefully it's back next year. But I don't know, that was such an iconic thing in Super Bowls to like bring that back to take that away would just be that would kind of suck.
And
But
the music bangs too. The trumpets and everything.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. This was the play that put the Bengals up 7, was the deep shot at the start of the second half to T. Higgins on Jalen Ramsey. Definitely a penalty. Do you agree?
No. And I will explain myself why.
Okay.
If every replay you see is in slow motion, and the angle of that, like in real time, how are you supposed to like seeing that is very hard because of how fast they were going. Jalen Ramsey looks like he's falling down before his face mask is even grabbed. And I don't know. I just thought it was blown way out of proportion. People don't understand what it is to be a ref. Like I understand why it should have been called. Yes, I agree. It's a penalty, but it wasn't a penalty because of the time, like the angle, how fast they're moving. Ramsey's falling down before he even like clips his face mask, and that literally takes away of why it's a penalty. So I don't know. I think people were making a big deal out about that one for no reason. Like, I understand it's a penalty, but like in real time, in that speed of the game, like you aren't going to see that, especially when he's falling down already. Like, and it's not like he barely clipped the face mask too. It's not like he was like full fisting the face mask and grabbing it. Like, yes, he did pull it, but did it really change that much of what was going to happen in that play? No.
Yeah, probably not.
He was falling down anyways. He was not in the position to make that play, but people are just going to make a big deal out of it. In the end, it didn't even matter. They still won.
Right.
But if they would have lost that game, the Rams would have lost that game, we would have never heard the end of it.
Ron Tobert might have never refed another game or something.
Yeah, we would have never heard the end of this. And like, there was so many missed calls throughout this game. Like, I don't like to blame the game on the refs, and I'm not going to this time because the Bengals probably got screwed over by the refs more than the Rams did, but the Bengals also should have blown the Rams out at one point in this game when they were up 17-13. I think it was when they got after, because didn't they go up 17-13 when they made that deep shot to T. Higgins?
Yeah.
They got an interception right away. They should have gone down and scored a touchdown and made that a 2-possession game instead of making it a 1-possession game still.
Yeah, this kind of leads into my next point is that on Stafford's 2 interceptions, I believe, the Rams only allowed 3 points total.
Yeah, that's a problem. You can't do that.
Great job by the Rams defense.
Yeah, the second interception, or I don't know which one
off
was
of
second, actually.
Ben Skoranek.
The Ben Skoranek one, that's the Bengals should have gone and scored a touchdown on that drive. They were in plus territory when it happened. They should have scored a touchdown. They should not have stalled out there. And the other one, what is Vernon Hargraves doing? A bench guy in the Super Bowl going and celebrating with the team. Like, that's stupid.
He's just too hype, man.
Anyone else could have come on the field. Like, that's a bench player that's not inactive and celebrated, but comes on.
A dress player. Anybody else could have came on. Like, the whole team could have gone out there and celebrated. Probably got excessive celebration, but whatever.
No. Like, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But like, you used to get penalties for having extra players come on that weren't on the field, but now they don't anymore because like all the team celebrations. And that cost them too because they had a penalty after the touchback. I don't know, but the Cincinnati did not take advantage of the turnovers that they forced.
Because that penalty, Vernon Hargraves, that made him push it back to the 10, and then they went backwards for a couple of plays, and then the pass to Jamar would have been a first down if it was 3rd and 10, not 3rd and 20.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Let's see. Next is the Tyler Boyd drop, 6:20 left in the fourth quarter on 3rd and 9. was a huge thing, because that pass probably would have been a first down, if not 4th and inches.
Was that the drive before the Rams went and scored?
Yes, that was
Dang.
the Bengals like last good drive, because like I remember seeing those replays, and you gotta keep your eye on the ball, man. Like I know you're going across the middle with some linebackers and safeties like eyeing you up, but you're expected to take those hits and hold on to the ball. You can't turn your head before you catch it.
Yeah, I don't really remember that play, but yeah, no, that is pretty crucial time in the game.
Yeah, like if it would have been in the first quarter, wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But 4th quarter on your final drive of the game, it's not a good look. Okay. Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford deserve lots of credit for their clock management at the end of that game. Taking it down from like 6 minutes all the way down to, let's see, what, like a minute 20 left on the clock.
Yeah.
After they scored. That's some work right there. Like most teams either go like 3 and out, or like they don't make it that far or whatever, but gutsy play calling at the end there with like the 4th and 1 Cooper Cup like jet sweep to keep the drive alive, the game alive,
yes,
everything
especially
like that.
when they weren't running the ball well either, to like burn all that time. That's pretty impressive when they have to pass the ball pretty much the whole time, knowing they need a touchdown too.
Yeah, and then later on that drive, that Stafford no-look bomb to Cooper Cup, that deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Honestly, if Stafford doesn't make it, that play deserves to be in there.
Yeah. No, that was the time, just the time and place of that play was just insane. Like to have the guts to make that throw is like unworldly. Like out of a guy that's never been in this position before is insane.
Right. And he's also kind of known for making those no-look passes too.
Yeah, no, he's done it. He's good. He started it before Mahomes too. Like
he's better than Mahomes in no-look passes. There's no doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I agree.
And then for how the game was being officiated and stuff like that, I don't think that should have been called a penalty on Logan Wilson. That holding call was just a little too ticky-tack.
No, it was even Chris Collinsworth said it was ticky-tack. Like, no, that was a bad call. Like okay, so like if we're gonna go over the penalties here real quick of that drive, then you got the Logan Wilson. That was bad. That was a bad call. Then you got the holding call on the Rams on that one play where Cooper Kupp scores or whatever.
Yeah.
But then you got an after the play unnecessary roughness on Von Bell when Cooper Kupp is still in the air, hasn't even touched the ground. Illegal hit. Not even defenseless. It's defenseless receiver, but if it's below the shoulders and neck, it's a clean hit.
No, he hit him in the face mask.
I mean, it was pretty. I mean, his arms though hit him like in the chest pretty much. Like it was bang bang, but like still, it wasn't the. I don't think it should have been a penalty in my opinion.
What's the defender supposed to do there? Like just let him like.
And it's not like he literally went in with like his. He didn't even go in with like the shoulder really. He just like kind of like went into him like directly. Like I don't know. I thought that was a bad call. That would have backed up the Rams to what first and goal or whatever from like the 15, 20.
Yeah,
like, that's a big difference in that. And like the Eli Apple holding, I can understand that. I thought it was a little ticky tack, but out of all the penalties on that drive, I think it was the most reasonable.
And then you could also go back and look at like one of the Bengals drives when they're down in the red zone. That like Jalen Ramsey could have been called for a hold or pass interference when he's tugging on T. Higgins.
Easily a hold.
Because it got him back in the play a little bit. But
yeah, no. Like the refs were just very inconsistent. I'm pretty sure Aaron Donald lined up offsides on one play at one point. People were saying it was the last play of the game, which I know it wasn't because the camera angle was totally different.
Yeah, but refs have a tough job. We're not trying to harp on them too much. Like they know what they're doing for the most part. It's just from the couch or wherever you watch it, those things just kind of stick out.
Yeah, I mean, you can't have that many missed calls or like bad calls though. The Super Bowl is the problem.
I don't think they were that awful though. They
No,
weren't great. They weren't great.
but I also think that they should start finding refs on like very egregious bad calls.
Yes, I feel like that should be like the same for like MLB and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, that definitely should happen at one point. I think it's horrible how bad they are sometimes, but I'm not blaming the refs for this one. Like each team, like the Rams won, so the Ramsey one doesn't not that big of a deal. And the Bengals had a very good opportunity of blowing this game out of proportion, and
Yeah.
they sold on that. So I don't know. I really don't think the refs had much to do with this. Obviously, game-winning drive, but the Rams still could have scored. It's not like they were at a position where they're not gonna score. They were in the red zone still. Like I don't know. I'm not gonna put that game on the refs. Each
No.
team had chances to win that game. So
Who do you
yeah,
think deserved to be the MVP?
Cooper Cup.
Okay, so we agree.
I don't think it was close. Like I mean, you could have said Donald, I guess, but
Yeah, that's what my group chat was saying here at Iowa was that it should have been
I just
Donald or Stafford. I'm like, no, like Cooper Cup, 8 of 10, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he was the sole focus on that final drive. Like he just don't do that to anybody. Like
yeah
you
no
give that responsibility to your best player. And that's what they did, and they cashed in on it.
yeah no like I mean honestly like not that that's how it works, but Cooper Cup should have just won it because of like where he took this team and it's like this to the Super Bowl and like he just deserved this out of any other player. I don't know. I just don't think there's really anyone else he really should have gave it to. I
Yeah.
felt like it was pretty much Cooper Cup's to win, and
Do you think
I think he should have won.
do you think he's gonna have a down year next year?
I mean, how do you top it?
Like I don't
don't
mean
think
like
he's got.
top it. Like I mean a more drastic drop off than like Buddy.
No. I think he'll have 100 receptions, like 1,400 yards, and like
Okay.
10 touchdowns at least. I don't think anything is really going to change, especially if they have Bobby Trees back and Odell maybe. Like even Van Jefferson, if he stays, like that offense was getting pretty dynamic. Like I still don't think it's going to matter much, but yeah, no, I think that this is.
Just the
I
beginning
think
of Cooper Cup.
yeah, it may take a little bit, but yeah, I think he's going to be good. He could be like a Larry Fitzgerald, where he's good, solid for a while until the end of his career.
Man, I want Larry to come back.
He's done.
He is, but I want him to. All right. Got a couple more things. I think the Raheem Morris did a good job with halftime adjustments because the Rams weren't getting any pressure on Burrow really in the first half at all. And then they started running D-line stunts against that awful Bengals O-line. And Joe Burrow got sacked 6 or 7 times in the second half.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that he got sacked 7 times till after once they pointed out.
And they were like all after the like halfway through the third too, which is even more crazy.
Yeah, they stepped up when they needed to.
Yep. And then the last play of the game, the Bengals offensive line sold so hard. So hard. Like
yeah, I mean, I don't really know how you go from second and 1 or whatever to 4th and 1 and not get the first down.
you gotta give your top tier QB a chance. Like
yeah, I know.
The Rams, they did what they needed to do. Aaron Donald showed out for that last drive, and they got the job done in that respect. But I think honestly, like this might be a big case for like this is a big reason on when people look back and they question the Bengals on taking Jamar. Like I know Jamar is the real playmaker right now and everything, but T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd is a solid wide receiving core. So
and they would not be there without Jamar Chase.
They would not. I agree. But if they somehow made it to the Super Bowl, like without Jamar,
I don't even think Penei Sewell would have been the solution because
No.
their inside offensive linemen were the problem mainly, not the outside.
It was the left tackle, I'm pretty sure,
Well, I
too.
mean,
So
Von
that
Miller got there a couple times, but like it was mainly the inside that was the problem. Like if you look
once
at it, the
once
last
they
two
started
plays of the
running the
games,
stunts, yes.
yeah, the last plays of the game was Aaron Donald inside making a play and Aaron Donald inside making a play. Like they need 1 yard to run the ball, and they couldn't even get a yard running the ball. Also,
Right.
why do you don't have Joe Mixon on the field in that situation on like third
Isn't
and fourth down
isn't
is
P
ridiculous.
Ryan the third down back?
No, I mean Joe Mixon is very capable. They have him out there
I
sometimes,
know.
but I don't know why you'd have P Ryan over Mixon. Mixon is easily capable of running, like passing the ball, and I'd rather have him on the field than P Ryan.
We gotta talk about it though. It didn't dawn on me during the game, during that play, but P Ryan, you gotta die for that ball, man.
Oh no, I agree. Like I thought it was like I was like, what are you doing? Like like
It
it
landed
was
at
really
your
hard to
feet.
tell. It looked like it did too, and I was like, how you're not diving for this? Could you
Like
imagine if like he would have dove for that and they would have got a field goal out of that? That would have been insane.
like he was coming out of a break a little bit. So, but I mean, still, like you gotta try and give it all your effort and get dirty. Like
Also, the fact that they had like, I mean, Jamar Chase was wide open on the field, but that's different. But like, they had a
yeah,
play set up for CJ Uzama to be wide open, and Burrow has no time, and it was like a two
yeah,
seconds that he was open. He had no time.
yeah. Like imagine if he had like one more full second and he hits Jamar for a wide open touchdown.
Yeah, that would
Imagine
be
how that would have
crazy.
been.
Would be crazy.
It would have been.
But
That's
yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
Capped off a good game. Got some closing thoughts. I really hope that Aaron Donald doesn't retire.
Dude, I thought that was crazy. I was like, there's no way this dude's actually
He's
thinking
only
about retiring.
30, right?
Yeah, I know. I was like, they're like, yeah, if he wins, there's a very good chance that there's a very good chance he retires. It's like, this is like Tom Brady. Like, I wouldn't expect this at all.
Did you hear that Sean McVay might step away for a little bit?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen anymore now, but
I
after
don't
that
know.
Super Bowl parade, but
Yeah. And then this was an excellent game for Al Michaels to go out on.
yeah, I really didn't feel like they brought that much to the broadcast, though, as much as like you would have thought of being their last game. Also, it was Michelle Tafoya's last game sideline reporting, too.
Yeah. Do you know why that was?
Why?
Did you hear what happened with her on like the View or whatever?
No.
She like my dad told me that she went on the View and one of the like hosts was comparing the NFL to like slavery because like black players are being like employed by white like rich white people. It's just not a great comparison. But she
Ooh,
got
Michelle Tafoya said that?
no, some person on the like on the View said that. And Michelle Tafoya said, "No, it's really not," and she kind of got a little canned for that.
That's what? How does
Yeah,
she?
I know.
That's stupid.
Like I said, it's the culture we're in.
That's
But
it. She did not deserve that.
yeah,
So yeah, the NBC broadcast can be a little bit different. It's gonna be crazy next year. It's probably gonna be like Mike Tirico and like Catherine Tappan or something. And it's just not gonna be as good.
oh yeah, isn't Collinsworth also leaving?
No, he's not. I don't think
Oh,
so. Why would he leave?
I
No,
don't
they'll
know.
keep Collinsworth around as long as possible. Everyone loves that guy.
My dad likes him. I don't know what you're on about.
I hate that guy. He
I
sucks.
don't understand it.
There's so
He
many
has
people that
such a
hate him.
nice he has such a nice voice.
I don't care. He's annoying. Like there was like a prop bet for how many times he says, "Now here's the guy." I don't know if what it, I don't know how many times he said it, but there was a prop bet for that.
That's honestly great. And
But
then yeah, I wonder who they're gonna go after. I kind of hope it's not Mike Tirico.
it's gonna be like they brought him in from NBC, like ESPN, to like eventually take over Al Michaels. I'm pretty
I
sure.
thought he was always on NBC though. He was the Monday night guy or the Sunday night
That,
guy in the booth
well, no,
or
he was the
Football Night in
Monday night
America.
guy. Well, yeah, no, he just started doing that recently.
Are you sure?
Positive. He just started doing that like this year, or last year. He just got signed like 2 or 3 years ago. Because remember when they finally made that switch from like to like the Sunday night or Monday night football group they had this year, or like they finally switched to that, that's like the year that he got offered a contract from NBC to go there.
He got
And I'm
hired
pretty sure,
away in 2016
yeah,
to
that's and like and
one day replace Al Michaels in the booth. Damn.
yeah. Yeah, no, I like, but like the thing is, he didn't start doing Football Night in America till like this year or last year because he was literally just brought over to NBC and he was doing a bunch of other stuff that wasn't related to anything football. And then he just started doing that because I'm pretty sure they were trying to get him acclimated to the people for Sunday Night Football this year or last year. And now he's going to replace Al Michaels in the booth. That's why you saw him in the booth sometimes this year.
Yeah.
Was because he was eventually going to replace him.
Damn.
But yeah. Kind of sucks, but
it does.
Did you see the video of Eminem in the back being like, "Yeah, you can't retire, dude.
You're the GOAT, man."
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt that. Because I mean, when I think of like football, I think of Sunday Night Football, honestly. Like with the Al Michaels and Chris Collinsworth, there's just no way around it. We gotta rank our football theme songs sometime. Like, we gotta rank like the football intro song sometime.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
CBS and stuff like that. Final thing I got.
Yep, go ahead.
Is after such a bad regular season, this is the playoffs we deserved.
Yeah, I agree. It was a really bad regular season, but this is probably one of the best playoffs I remember.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But one thing I was gonna say, like looking at like the outcomes of like these teams, obviously like going in the future wise, like the Bengals if they had the cap space looking for some all linemen, but the strategy that the Rams did to like build this team up, honestly, I could see a lot of contending teams do this. F them draft picks, like their GM said today. F them draft picks, because like look at what that brought them. It brought them Stafford, it brought them Von Miller, it brought them all these things. Like in the end, draft picks don't mean that much. When you can go get guys that are proven in this league for draft picks to make your team better, I don't know why you wouldn't. Like, for example, like this is what I want. I want the Vikings to do this because this team is not. The Vikings aren't in the position to rebuild.
No,
they are in a position to win now.
Yeah,
this is where you go spend the draft picks to go get your guys that you think you need to win the Super Bowl. Because I feel like the Vikings are a good head coach, which I think they have away, and a couple pieces from being a really good team. And it seemed like that's what the Rams were. They were a quarterback and another guy to complement Aaron Donald. They went and got Ramsey a couple years ago. Like this is what teams are going to start doing, it seems like. And I saw it earlier this week or like after the Super Bowl, like it seems like teams that are contending are going to maybe take this strategy because really like teams that are contending are going to have a late first round pick. And yeah, sometimes you're going to get a hit, but in the end, if you don't get like a massive hit, like a Justin Jefferson or something like that, they're really not going to make that much immediate impact. So trading away these picks and going after that guy that you want is huge for so many teams. And like, I know like they say, you got to build up your roster sometimes through the draft, but like at the same time, it's like, if you can manipulate your cap space and keep all these guys, like if the Rams can somehow run it back with this team, I would say they're the favorites to win the Super Bowl again. Like, I don't know who else would be. Like, I get you got the Chiefs and stuff, but I would take the Rams as my Super Bowl favorites. Like, people were saying like this team was probably the best team on paper, and they were just like going through the motions and stuff, and it was struggling. But I'm taking the Rams next year if they run this team back because I think this is the strategy to the NFL now, and I think a lot of teams are going to start to maybe think about doing this is getting rid of your draft capital and going for those guys that are going to put you over the edge.
Do you think their offense is going to be as good next year? Because Vikings just signed Kevin O'Connell, their offensive coordinator.
But like Sean McVay, Sean McVay has got so much like influence to this offense that they could probably bring in another guy. And like, I think it could just be even more dynamic. Like, I don't think this is going to really change much to the team at all. Cause like the thing is Sean McVay and Kevin O'Connell worked together with the Redskins at the time. They worked with them and they were under the same coaching staff. He brought him in So like they have a lot of the same schemes. I don't think it really matters that much. I think they can just be just as like dynamic, if not more, because they have a year of experience under their belt. I don't know. I don't think it really matters that much when an offensive coordinator leaves, especially if you have an offensive minded coach. I don't think it matters that much.
Do you think O'Connell's going to be a good head coach for us?
Yeah, I mean, if he brings in the schemes that the Rams have, Justin Jefferson literally could win the Triple Crown next year. Like it's just that like if you're telling me Cooper Cup's a better receiver than Justin Jefferson, you're on damn crack because he is not. And if you put Justin Jefferson in that offense and he look out because if he can do anything like Cooper Cup did this year, the Vikings are going to be terrifying, and you better watch out. Yeah, we're coming for you guys.
Are we?
Yeah, we are.
Clip that chat.
I mean, honestly, if you think about it, Brandon, like if Kirk Cousins is comfortable in a system and you got a solid defense, because like if you think about it, Kirk Cousins played really good this year.
He did.
Our defense was poor. The Rams defense didn't play the greatest at times, but they stepped up. If we can have a good defense, a top 10 defense, and you have these weapons around, like I'm taking our running back over the Rams. I might take the Rams receiving core, but we also have a better all-around receiver, top receiver. Like we have the best receiver out of that group, but they might have a little bit of better receiving core. We have a solid tight end, but it's just all about that defense. Like I think Kirk Cousins is capable enough, and obviously O'Connell has the confidence in him. Yeah, I mean, I'm confident enough if our defense can step up, like we can do just as similar things to the Rams.
Yeah, I think we need to get a clutch defense. And then also, I think if Irv Smith does not produce this year, I think it might be time to like look in like the fourth to like later rounds for another tight end.
Yeah, no, I agree. He needs to have a big year. I mean,
put up or shut up year.
Yeah, because it's like obviously like you can't control injuries, but like you got to produce to show that you could stay. Because if you're going to be injured all this time, you got to prove it.
Like your job got taken over by Tyler Conklin, who was the third stringer last year.
I mean, you can't really help it though because you got hurt. But yeah, no, Tyler Conklin played really well, and like
he did.
Irv Smith's going to have to earn his spot back, I would say.
I agree with that. It's definitely going to be an open competition for tight end there. Yeah, it's sad that we're going into the dark ages now of no football, waiting for baseball to start up, honestly, to take us through the rest of the year. I know you don't care as much as I do, but get us to August.
Get me into the playoffs like the NHL and basketball, and it'll be somewhat of a like placeholder, but the doldrums of the off season just suck because I don't know what to do with myself on the weekend. I don't have anything to look forward to in sports. I don't know. It just kind of sucks.
We honestly do gotta say though, you can't take sports for granted ever again because last year 2 years ago with COVID was just awful. 100 and whatever days without sports was not fun. So
I mean, yeah, just the fact that we can go a whole year with like sports being on at all times, like the four major sports is honestly pretty amazing.
It's nice.
Can't complain much about it.
No, always something to watch late at night or midday. So
yeah.
I think
got anything else, Brennan?
That's all we got. I think got some Vikings trivia coming up soon. And then also next week we're planning to look over our record predictions to see who has to take the punishment. More on that next week.
Yep. It's going to be a good one. The next couple of weeks, we got little special episodes, a little different, not really recapping much since there's not much to recap.
Start getting into some MLB, maybe NHL, NBA stuff. Switch it up.
Yeah.
Do some off-season once free agency starts.
Yeah.
For the NFL.
But yeah, kind of hard to do much when the sport we talk about most is done.
March Madness in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting.
I feel like we gotta put a little bet down for the pod, like $10.
Bracket.
Yeah.
Something.
Bracket might throw down a future. Kind of feeling Purdue at the moment, but also not.
Dude, I'm not feeling any of the teams.
I know they all seem
There's no
kind of garbage.
standout. There's no
I guess
standout team.
I guess Gonzaga at most.
Maybe I don't even know about them.
They're number one right now.
Yeah.
Oh well, we'll get to that in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. Well, I think that's gonna do it for us here at Certified Beef. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
See you later.